Men, if a girlfriend or wife has ever said, "Talk to me," and you had no idea what to say, and later she cried or she got mad at you that you won't talk to me, here's why that happens and a foolproof method to communicate the way she wants based on my 15 years of training and experience. I'm Adam Lane Smith, and I make relationships better. First, we need to talk about the male and female brains. The male brains like to observe problems. They go from back to front in the solving them in the front, so they move backward to forward. Female brains like to make connections. They see relationships, so they observe back and then they cross the hemispheres back and forth a lot. These connection points hold a lot of ramifications, but so does the size difference in the brains, the specialization into problem solving versus relating, and adaptability to stress, among a host of other differences that probably are not popular to talk about, but we're going to talk about them because they're real. You also need to know that certain parts of the brain are different, including that makeup of gray versus white matter. The average female brain is designed to be more intuitive with communication, with social cues, and with relating to other people. This is by design. Finally, you need to understand something called evolutionary psychology. This field says that our ancestors had adaptive biology that kept them alive while others with less helpful biology died out. It's survival of the fittest. This is crucial for what comes next and what she wants from you. So let's dive into it. Homo sapiens have been on this planet somewhere between 200,000 and 300,000 years now. We were hunter-gatherers for all of that time, up until about 12,000 years ago with the Neolithic Revolution. Our brains, therefore, are still prioritized to survive with those hunter-gatherer patterns that shaped us. Here's what that has caused in us, just a few examples. Male brains likely evolved the way that they did to solve problems very quickly, to see an issue and to jump right into the solution, and to constantly see the world through problem-solution thinking. Men are pretty goal-oriented and solution-oriented, if you haven't noticed that. Our communication was probably limited to addressing issues with other people. It still is. Male communication exists to solve. This helps when you're hunting a dangerous animal and you need to share instructions very quickly with your teammates, or to solve a dangerous issue that could bring a threat to your family. You're not really here to relate as a hunter. You're here to provide and protect. The male communication focuses on this really strongly. Female brains, on the other hand, likely develop to keep their children and their family close, to help nurture people, and to help people feel bonded. This would have enormous benefit for people who survived based on the strength of their group cohesion. Women kept the family intact. Their brains are designed to allow this and to foster it. We need to be aware of that. Women also gathered, and they shared resources amongst themselves in constant social interaction. Gathering together is a very social activity. Harmony was prioritized, which is most women today are still conflict averse, and risks were avoided, which is why most women don't want to make the final decision for a group. There's a lot of blame and a lot of risk involved. Female communication, then, is designed to build harmony with others, to maintain cohesion, and to nurture good feelings, developing bonds and sharing helpful information with someone that they might need down the line. Female communication, in short, is for bonding and sharing. Now, none of this means that men can't communicate to bond and share ever, or that women can't solve problems. I can already hear the objections, but that's not the case. It just means that typical male-female brains are specialized to default to our primary fields of expertise, especially if we're stressed out or have a need. This is important when we get stressed out and impatient. Men in relationships, when they're stressed, will often default to problem solving, especially if they've never learned from the women in their family how and why to communicate for sharing and bonding. We talk a lot about how men don't learn from the women in their families when they have attachment issues. That's one big thing I deal with in my coaching is men who never connected to their women in their family, so they never learned how women work. And then they go out in the wilderness and find strangers to bond with, but they've never really interacted emotionally or intimately with a woman that the way that it should have through their original core families. Most men solve problems to show their love. They don't bother communicating otherwise. Everything is about getting those solutions. And why would they? That's how men work. It's how they think. It's how our brains are designed. Women, on the other hand, they often show their openness to bonding through communicating. And in fact, that is also how they bond at the same time. Talking and sharing means bonding and a desire for more closeness. So they might share a lot more than most men expect. This can lead to a lot of frustration and confusion and missed bonding on both sides. Women then, in short, are communicating in an effort to share and bond and to show love and the desire for closeness. Very different. Men might hear this and think, what is she yammering on about now? Maybe she has a problem. What am I supposed to do? How do I fix it? They listen for a problem and they throw a solution at her. So a lot of times a wife or girlfriend will come home and start talking to you about her day and telling you about problems that are going on or things she did, things she ate, what people said, relationship pieces. Guys start listening for problems. She wouldn't share this with me unless there was a problem she wanted me to fix. I better find that problem. Then he throws out a solution. What happens here is she instantly feels shut down. This is why most women feel shut down in their relationships. But if this is happening, why are they asking you to talk to them? It's for the exact same reason that they expect their female friends to talk. Your talking shows a desire to bond with them and to connect and share. When you're deathly silent all the time and never open up unless there's a problem, women usually interpret that male silence as a lack of desire to connect with them. That translates to a lack of desire in her as a person. What this really says is that you will have sex with her, but not share your thoughts or your feelings or your experiences because you don't want to connect. This in turn tells her that she's just a pleasure toy in your life, a sex object. So when she says, talk to me, what she's really saying is, show me that you have any desire to connect with me, to share with me, and to be with me on any level other than the physical one. Put another way, she's asking you, show me that you care through communication. This makes perfect sense to her brain, but not to the male brain. Not usually, and especially if you haven't got practice with this with the women in your family where you grew up. So now I hope you can see the problem. And now maybe you can solve the problem. Here's the real problem. Her communication is still solving a deep problem. It's showing interest. It's protecting that cohesion. It's bonding. It's sharing. It's building the love between the two of you. All of this is solving problems. And the women watching this are probably laughing because it sounds so weird to put it this way, but this is how the male brain needs to perceive it. This is why you communicating helps her feel safe and bonded. That's a problem you're solving. You're solving all of those problems together with her, and you're showing her that you plan to stick around long term for more than just sex. This gives her a way to know you, to predict you, to help you, and to grow closer with you. So if she's ever cried after you didn't get it, that's because, in woman language, you rejected bonding with her, and you told her that you had zero interest in getting any closer. Her crying and being upset shows how much she craves that closeness with you. So it's time for us to fix it. Here's what you should say. When a woman says, talk to me, or before that, if you want to be proactive, follow this 4-step method that I'm about to share with you. This will change everything, and it will build greater emotional intimacy, which can lead to greater physical intimacy. So, in short, here's how to get more sex through talking. Hopefully that's enough problem solving to get you trying this new method of talking, and I hope it is. First, step 1, ask her if you can run something by her to get her input. This primes her for what you want, and it shows her that this is a sharing moment. She'll likely perk right up because this is what she wants. So step 1, share a problem that you're experiencing. Any problem at all. At work, with your job, with your motorcycle, whatever. It's special bonus points if it's relationship focused, if it's somebody else, if it's a friend, if it's some relationship in your life you'd like female insight on. Even just something that confuses you. Any problem. Share it. Step 2, describe in a word or two how this problem's making you feel. It's probably frustrated, annoyed, confused, sad, whatever. Just one feeling. This makes you relatable to her, and it sets up the stakes. She wants to hear this part so she knows you're being vulnerable to her. You don't have to fall on the floor sobbing uncontrollably. In fact, please don't. That's not what she wants. She doesn't want you to be a child. But she wants you to be a not machine. She wants you to invest with her a little bit and express to her how you feel and how high the stakes are in solving this problem. This will help her feel closer to you. Step 3, share the solution that you've probably already thought of. Most men at this point say, wait, why would I talk to her if I already have a solution? I'll just go do it. Well, hold on there. You're sharing to bond and to exchange information. And remember how her brain goes back and forward across the hemisphere when she observes a problem. She can help with this part because this is really important. That brain goes back and forth and finds all kinds of connections you haven't thought of yet. So step 4, you ask, hey, before I do that, your solution, have I missed anything? What's your take? Can I get your insight? What are your thoughts? Not should I do it? She's not your mom. She's not deciding for you. But what are your thoughts? What's your insight? What have I missed? Her brain will take your solution and run it back and forth across her hemispheres to dissect every possible relationship impact it may have everywhere with everybody else. She's checking for bad interactions, like a pharmacist. When you get a medication, you say, I think I'm going to take this. Should I take it? They check for every possible bad interaction that could ruin your day, get you hurt, screw things up. Her brain is that kind of a machine. The male brain is a solution machine. The female brain is a relationship machine. It analyzes things to death. It's incredible. Her brain will likely spit out a ton of third-level interactions you never imagined when you designed your solution. Some of these might be really important enough to add a piece to your solution or even to scrap it and write up a new one. I've had this happen when I share with my wife before. Her brain will come up with all kinds of different connections I didn't even think of. I was thinking point A to point B, maybe point C, keeping track. Her brain checks the whole alphabet. And it's incredible. It's been really helpful for me growing and doing all kinds of my personal work. So think about doing this. It's not just to make her feel good. It's actually to help your life as well. Her brain specializes in helping you like this. And once she gives you that feedback, thank her. Be honest about it and be appreciative. Thanks, babe. That's helpful. I'm going to think about it. Great. One other good response is, thanks for your input. I'm going to have to think about this for a while, but I appreciate your insight. I'll come back to you later with what I decide. Very helpful. This has the added benefit, by the way, long term, of making her feel safe and secure as your partner, because she learns how you think and she can give you more useful data over time. Think of an AI program. As you use it and continue engaging with it, it learns to predict you, it learns your patterns, it evolves with you, and then it becomes more helpful to you than it was before. So will she. Her feedback will become more targeted to help you specifically. It's incredible how the female brain works. This is how they show their love in secondary ways versus, yes, nurturing and bonding and connecting, but then promoting and growing and building you. It's incredible. The old saying is, behind every successful man is a woman helping him, a supportive woman. This is why, is because the male and female brains are designed to link up this way to create greater success for both of them. Please give this a try. Now, this means that she becomes more valuable to you as she ages and accrues wisdom and experience. Maybe see where this is going. No younger woman could ever threaten her usefulness in your life, so she feels safe and secure. She doesn't have to worry about that blonde bimbo in a bikini who wandered by, because she gives you more than any other woman ever could, and nobody could ever level up enough to take her place. This is what makes women feel safe and secure through the relationship. And this is why when you don't connect with them, they feel insecure, because the only thing they're offering is sex. The only thing they're offering is physical attractiveness. That does decrease, unfortunately, over age. All of us end up getting pretty old and ugly. So give her a greater purpose in your life so she feels safe. Plus, it helps because you're trusting her enough to open up and you're bonding with her. So even short term, it's amazing. There's huge security in this for her. This in turn creates enough safety for her to increase her emotional connection with you, increase oxytocin flow, increase bonding, increase openness. Her sex drive will go through the roof. This is how you make the female sex drive go through the roof. This is female Viagra. If you've been looking for it, if you've been hunting online, hey, how do I make my wife want sex more? This is how you do it. When I work with couples, it's incredible. Most couples who have no sex after a few years, it's usually because they're lacking this exact communication approach. The couples who come into my coaching, I teach them this method. It increases their sexual frequency by 3 times. It's phenomenal. Hey, Adam, we have sex maybe once a month. Okay, try this. Adam, we've been having sex 2 or 3 times a week, and wow, it's a lot, and it's awesome. And she's driving a lot of it. She's initiating a lot of it. That's the power here. That's the change that you can make with this one simple change. She feels safe, so she opens up, and everything flows better. Everything. So guys, the next time that she says, talk to me, please remember and use this 4-step method. Be proactive. Don't wait for her to complain that you don't love her before she begs for sharing. Open up on purpose. One thing you can do right now is go to her and say, hey, can I run something by you for input? See how she perks up. Now that you know how to communicate and help her feel loved, solving a problem, right? Make sure you put this into play in your relationship. And before we check out, make sure you subscribe if this has been helpful and ring that bell for notifications so you never miss a relationship tip. And if you need help, or if you're having any other relationship challenges, my email is open. I'm happy to help. Hit me up at support@adamlanesmith.com or drop a comment below with your questions. I'll see you in the next video.